Welcome viewers, today we delve into the rich tapestry of religious imagery and explore the fascinating question, what did Jesus really look like? Today we explore the factors that have not only shaped our perception of Jesus, but how and why this perception has resonated globally, defining the familiar image that many of us hold in our minds today. Our first stop on this journey is the Middle East, the cradle of civilization and the birthplace of Jesus. Here, artistic representations often feature darker skin and Arab features, a stark contrast to the fair-skinned image ingrained in Western consciousness. The presentation of Jesus in the Middle East is quite complex and varies across different countries and religious communities. The Middle East is the historical and cultural backdrop for Jesus' life, and his significance is acknowledged not only within Christianity but also in Islam, where he is considered a prophet. In Islam, Jesus, known as Isa in Arabic, is highly revered as a prophet. The Quran contains several chapters dedicated to Mary and Jesus, emphasizing his miraculous birth and his role as a messenger of God.
Well then, I'd like to speak with Jesus.
Islamic depictions of Jesus align with the Quranic narrative and often emphasize his humility and piety within images and artistic representations. In some areas, artistic representations may incorporate local features, presenting Jesus in a manner that visually aligns with the predominant cultural aesthetics. Conversations about Jesus often emphasize commonalities, and he is often viewed as a unifying figure who bridges religious divides. The Middle East holds significant historical and archaeological sites associated with Jesus, such as Bethlehem, Nazareth, and Jerusalem. Pilgrimages to these locations are important for Christians, adding a tangible and historical dimension to the presentation of the image of Jesus in the region. The diverse religious communities in this region contribute to a rich tapestry of interpretations and representations of Jesus, reflecting the historical and cultural complexity of the Middle East itself. As we traverse history and move into the influences of Europe, we arrive at the Renaissance, a pivotal epoch that profoundly influenced the portrayal of Jesus for centuries. European artists, inspired by cultural trends, depicted a fair-skinned Christ and cemented a visual tradition that has echoed through the ages. Our global quest has unveiled a kaleidoscope of representations, so before traveling the globe further, let's delve deeper into some of the intricate influences that have sculpted the British image of Jesus, examining the convergence of art, literature, and education. Artistic renditions over the centuries have played a crucial role in shaping perceptions. From illuminated manuscripts to grand paintings and cinema epics, the visual narrative of Jesus has evolved, intertwining with the socio-cultural fabric of each era. Consider the works of Renaissance masterpieces like Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper or Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam on the Sistine Chapel ceiling. These artists, influenced by their cultural milieu, portrayed Jesus with European features reflecting the prevailing aesthetics of their time. Okay, let's move forward in time and encounter The Head of Christ by Warner Sallman, an iconic image that became ubiquitous in American Protestant culture in the 20th century. Its gentle depiction further shaped the popular perception of a serene and compassionate Jesus. The 21st century brings a re-evaluation of these iconic images. Contemporary artists like Kahind Wiley challenge traditional representations, infusing diversity and inclusivity into their interpretations. Also take a look at the thought-provoking works of Chris Offaly or Banksy, whose artistic expressions challenge societal norms and push the boundaries of how we visualize religious figures in our modern, multicultural world. Now that we've got the art stuff out of the way, let's carry on our global journey and head into Africa. The presentation of Jesus in Africa is influenced by a combination of religious, cultural, and historical factors. Africa is home to a wide range of ethnic groups, languages, and religious traditions, and the portrayal of Jesus both in image and in story reflects this rich diversity. Africa is characterized by religious diversity, including various indigenous African religions, Islam, and Christianity. The presentation of Jesus even varies among Christian communities, with different denominations emphasizing different aspects of his life and teachings. In regions where indigenous African religions are practiced alongside Christianity, there may be unique interpretations of Jesus that integrate local cultural elements. Some artistic representations and narratives blend Christian themes with traditional African symbolism. The work of missionaries has historically played a role in shaping the presentation of Jesus in Africa. Missionary activities have led to the establishment of Christian communities and the integration of Christian teachings into local cultures. Different Christian denominations have established a presence in Africa, and their teachings often influence how Jesus is portrayed. For example, Roman Catholic, Protestant, and Orthodox Christian communities may have distinct artistic representations and theological emphases. In some African contexts, particularly in the face of social and political challenges, the principles of liberation theology have influenced the presentation of Jesus. Emphasizing justice, equality, and liberation, this interpretation resonates with struggles for social justice on the continent. As we traverse the diverse cultural landscapes, we confront the profound influence of religious imagery on racial perceptions. Our journey brings us to the intersection of faith and history, particularly in the context of how Jesus was portrayed to Black slaves. The Christian faith, brought to enslaved Africans during the transatlantic slave trade, became a source of solace and resistance. However, the image of Jesus presented to them carried a distinctive imprint, a visual narrative molded by those in power. In this era of oppression, the depiction of Jesus as fair-skinned and European served a purpose. The narrative reinforced the notion of divine sanction for slavery, promoting obedience and subservience among the enslaved. Yet, within the confines of their struggles, a parallel visual narrative emerged, a reinterpretation of Jesus that resonated with the resilience and hope of the Black community. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the emergence of Black liberation theology challenged the Eurocentric portrayal of Jesus. Figures like James Cone and artists like Aaron Douglas presented a Christ figure with African features, a symbol of empowerment and resistance. The significance of this reinterpretation reverberates through history, influencing various art forms from paintings to gospel music. It symbolizes a reclaiming of identity and a challenge to the oppressive narrative imposed upon Black communities. In the contemporary landscape, we witness a diversity of perceptions within Black communities. Some hold onto the traditional depictions ingrained by centuries of influence, while others embrace a more culturally authentic representation of Jesus. Our Odyssey has unveiled the layers of complexity within the portrayal of Jesus, a figure not only central to faith but also deeply entwined with issues of power, race, resilience, and this takes us to the last stop on our journey, the continent of Asia. The presentation of Jesus in Asia is once again diverse and influenced by a variety of cultural, religious, and historical factors. Christianity has a significant presence in many Asian countries, and the depiction of Jesus varies across different regions and denominations. Much like in Africa, the work of missionaries has historically also played a role in shaping the perception of Jesus in Asia, and teachings were often adapted to incorporate more of the local cultural context, leading to variations in the presentation of Jesus across different regions. In countries with a strong Christian tradition, such as the Philippines and South Korea, artistic representations of Jesus often align with Western depictions. However, there is a growing trend in contemporary art to reinterpret Jesus in a more culturally relevant manner, incorporating Asian features. It would seem that the presentation of Jesus across the globe is multifaceted, and that one single perception should never be accepted, despite the historical actions that were put in place to try and force it. The evolution of the image is a reflection of the rich cultural tapestry of the world, and it encompasses a wide range of artistic, cultural, and religious expressions that contribute to the diverse ways in which Jesus is perceived and understood. We can still be proud of our British Jesus and who he represents today, but much like the man himself, the image has a checkered history and a fair share of controversy attached. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth explorations. Until then, keep questioning, keep smiling.